What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 29th of May today. Here we are at $107,000 with a low of 106.4K today. Looking like we do want to drop a little bit lower. My suspicion is that if we were to grow from here, if we were to continue to grow, we would have done so already. We wouldn't be hanging out at these lows like this, ready to go lower. I don't know about you guys, but you notice how this is a little bit different, right? First off, when you broke out of this consolidation phase, that was the nice pronounced move that you had, right? Here, you broke out of this phase, you had a higher high in your RSI. Here, though, notice how staggered this move looks right here. Notice how you didn't get a higher high in your RSI. You topped off, double top there. And also notice with each of these consolidation phases, you're having higher lows, slightly higher lows, mind you, but you know it is still higher lows. Higher lows here, definably, notably higher lows. Absolutely no grinding of the bottom area. Here, you're grinding. Now, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're new to TA, this in itself, just looking at the price like this is not a good way to consider if the price is going to go up or down, right? It's not this solely alone, but we try to piece things together. It's like a giant puzzle, and you got to find all the pieces, put it together, and see what it looks like, right? Well, the RSI is looking like a red piece. This is looking like a red piece. We're starting to piece things together that are the color red. Does that make sense that we're probably going to go down? I'm not expecting that we're going to go down too low, but now that we have at least a suspicion of going down, where might we go down to? If we take a low here to a high here, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's so bad. In the mornings, it's really bad. I mean, from a low to a high here, you found support at your 236. Low to high here, you didn't even hit the 236. Maybe you hit it over here, but that was before the high was actually drawn, so that doesn't count. Here, same thing. You didn't even hit the 236. But here, I would suspect that you do, that you go down to the 236. Now, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Typically, you'll never hear me call for a bounce off the 236. But because of how bullish Bitcoin has been recently, I wouldn't be surprised if we bounced off the 236. We saw $101.7 thousand as support. Especially because as we move down, people are going to be piling on the shorts, and I'm assuming as we get closer to that 100K level, people will be piling on the shorts, expecting us to break below it and return back to the 90s. There's this like self-fulfilling prophecy out in the space from the bearish side that Bitcoin will go below 100K again, and then there's a self-fulfilling prophecy from the bullish side that it will never go below 100K again. But I would assume that, as all things are, as we start to turn the tide a little bit to the downside, that bullish narrative might go away and the bearish narrative might come about. Oh no, the bears are right. We really will go below 100K at least one more time. And I think right here we'll find support actually at the 236. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be right. Who cares? But if I'm wrong, then we don't find support here. We'll continue to go lower, and we'll likely find support at the 382. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I would be very shocked, very surprised to say the least, if we went below $95.8 thousand. It is possible to wick a little bit below it and then close above. I'm not scared if we wick below it, but if we were to close below this line, that would be rather intimidating, because then we have the concept of going down to $87,000 or $81,000, which would just be scary as hell if we did that. That throws off all the timing that we have for this upside, and we're going to have to rethink the whole damn structure of the cycle. So let's avoid that. Let's avoid any notion of that. We'll at least hold 95.8K, and or I should say at the most hold that, and then at least hold 101.7. I'm in favor of this area. I'm not just in favor of it because it's the higher low and I want to see Bitcoin move up higher. Like, that's not. I'm in favor of this area because in my head, statistically speaking, we have a good chance of finding support here. I think that's what's going to happen. I think our RSI overall is bullish as hell. I think we just need to cool off a little bit, get this thing down to the 50. Once we get down to the 50, the price it's probably not closing at this red line, but you'll be closing above it with a wick down to it or something like that. That's my expectation. Similar to this stuff here, right? James Wynn is not winning, unfortunately, not today. If you guys have been counter trading this guy, you've actually probably been doing really well in the markets over the past week. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those guys that's making fun of him, right? I actually respect James. I don't like the way that he talks. I can't tell, man. Is it just confidence? Does he have nuts of steel? Or is he just really in denial about all? I think he's in denial, you know, but nonetheless, I admire his tenacity and the transparency. You know, even with all the losses, he's still going at it. There's something of a bit of admiration there for him, at least in that kind of respect. But I hope he pulls through, and I hope he proves everybody wrong and actually makes a lot of money. I know a lot of people in the space right now are hoping to they're just enjoying his demise. I think a lot of those people are people who have traded their own life savings away, and now they're just happy seeing someone do it with bigger money. But I want to see people make money, man. I don't like it when I see people lose money in this game, especially to their own emotions. And I hope that he comes out on top. I think he will, but we'll see. It'd be really great if he does come out on top. His meme coin's going to do really well. I don't think he owns the meme coin, but it's there's a meme coin in his name. Anyways, $107,500 right now. 9 hours and 10 minutes left. If you don't know who I'm talking about with James Lynn, don't even worry about it. He's just like the relative name in the crypto space right now. But if you're not with it, who cares? It doesn't matter. Daily time frame, daily RSI does look bearish. I would assume that we go to the 50. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and zoom out from there. Okay, so the 1 hour did find resistance. Actually, no, it didn't find resistance. Oh wow, what did we do today? Did we move up? We move up, and I didn't even pay attention. Right, so where's the beginning? The beginning of the day was here. We did move down. We cleaned out James's trade probably. No, we didn't. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Yes, we did. We had to have. Anyways, then we went up right as soon as he got cleared out. Then we went up, and now we're down again. So just volatility. These are stop hunts, man. We're screwing with people who are leverage trading, or maybe giving people an opportunity who's actually timing this right. But the fact that we rejected this area of prior support as resistance, and then we just came back up again just to reject here like this. This is a screwy market, man. Very, very screwy market. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I think if anybody here is leverage trading, first off, stop. That's probably the best thing to do, is just stop leverage trading. Just spot trade. There's nothing wrong with spot trading. You can make enough money in crypto spot trading, believe me. You really don't need leverage in crypto, man. You really don't. If you need leverage, just invest in a top 300 coin instead of a top 100 coin. You know what I mean? Like or a top 500 coin. Like you don't need leverage, man. And it's a lot less risky. But I don't know. Anyways, if you are gonna leverage trade, you should not surpass 5x. And even then, I wouldn't surpass 3x leverage, right? Like I know there's people using 40x leverage, 20x leverage. If you're using anything more than 5x leverage, you're being a degenerate, honestly. There's no reason to have a leverage position that large. Anyways, if we're looking at this on a 1 hour time frame here, it does look like we have lower lows in the RSI while having lower lows in the price, at least at the moment. So that would confirm the idea of going lower. 8 minutes, 30 seconds left in this 1 hour candle here. That is a big wick to the downside, but I'm still not convinced that we're going to move up from here. I really do think that we're going to move down. Looking at the 1 hour RSI, I'm just not impressed. I'm not impressed at all. It seems to be getting weaker, so I'm assuming that we will slowly make our way down to prices that are around $105,000. If not $101,000. And I want to go back here. I want to backtrack on something that I said earlier, because I kind of forgot that 105K is also a target area. Low to high, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we went down to $101.5 thousand, or is it $101.7 thousand? I wouldn't be surprised at all if we went down there. But there is a situation where we do find support right here at our prior areas of resistance right there at about $104.8 thousand, or maybe up a little bit above $105,000 at this wick here. There is a case scenario where we do find support here. There is a pretty solid argument to be made that that's where we find support, right? We haven't been hitting the 236 every step of the way here, so maybe we continue that trend. But if we were to go back down, I think the 236 would hold. And if not, the 382 would definitely hold, but that would be an intense drop from here, not just for Bitcoin, but for the rest of the markets too. But let's carry on. I do think that something between $105,000 to $101,000 will provide support, but the low so far is at 106.4K. It's not enough. We need to drop a little bit more. That's my expectation here. What about the 15-minute time frame? A lot of volume at the low there, man. I don't know. Did James go short? Let's look here. Let's look. Oh, why did I do that? I should have just clicked on the profile. Let's see. Fuck the cabal. Multi-billion-dollar meme. Is that the meme right there? The comeback will be ferocious. Let's see. Long, P&L size, entry price, liquidation price. Okay. Okay. Entry price here, liquidation. Why is the liquidation price lower, but he's got the same X? Did he just add more funding? Is that what it is? That's probably what it is to counteract that. So he is long. He is long. His entry price is 108.33. So, and it doesn't seem that he's taken any profits. I mean, maybe he took profits. Maybe that's what this is saying. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Multi-billion-dollar meme. I don't know what he's saying here. Anyways, guys, sorry. I was just curious to see what direction he's in. If he's long, and it was 3 hours ago that he went long, well, 1, 2, 3. It makes a little bit of. Well, he didn't go long 3 hours ago, did he? Though he had it was at the 8,108.3K. It would have been there. So it would have been this time. He just posted it whenever he was in the green. I wonder if when he posts, if he's taking profits. Because if he did, that's awesome. That's awesome. But I'm not 100% sure. You know what? Let's look this up, actually. Let's look this up. I don't know if anybody is curious, but I'm kind of curious. And we're just going to do this right now. You could do this yourself, too. So I'm pretty sure his name, you're accessing our products and services restricted jurisdiction. Oh, okay. I didn't get this last time. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. I did not get this last time. Whatever though. Let's see. Can I explore? Can I search? Nope. James Wynn. That's what we want. Search not found. Return home. I don't know. Why can't I? Leaderboard. There we go. That's what it is. Let's see. James Wynn. Nothing. It's because of this. It's because I can't. They won't give me access. That's why. Okay. Well, whatever. Whatever there, man. Okay. Anyways, let's just get on with the TA, guys. I'm sorry that was a little detour into nothingness right there, but I was just curious to see if he was long or short. I don't know. I don't have a definitive answer. So, anyways, but I can check on my phone. I just can't check on my web browser. That's so weird. I do anticipate we're going to move lower. I mean, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. There's no such thing as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottom. There's not a quintuple bottom that exists. If we move up from here, it's just going to be a bull trap. It's just a head screw, and then you're going to probably move down with a certain tenacity that'll break the spirit of the bulls. And then that's whenever we'll start to move up. Is after we've broken the spirit of the bulls, then we'll move up, something like that. We definitely do want to move down. Looking at the 4-hour time, I mean, I want us to move up. I think we all want to move up, but that doesn't matter. 4-hour RSI doesn't tell any lies, man. Lower lows, lower highs. We haven't gotten oversold yet. You're going to get oversold, and then from there you'll recover. I would assume that it's not this week, right? Here's the end of the week right here. It's on Sunday right here. That's the end of the week. That's the last 4-hour candle there. Probably sometime next week we'll begin to recover and start to move up, right? It's going to be a long, kind of drawn out. You see, you come down, you move sideways, and then you move up, right? You come down, you move sideways, and then you move up in this kind of time format. And I know I got a mess here. That would put us sometime in next week that we'd expect to move up. And I do expect that we will move up out of this and see new all-time highs. But first we're going to go down a little bit, and that's okay. That's okay. So I don't really know if there's anything else to say. We got a little sidetracked there. Normally, if I get sidetracked, I just kind of end the video and I'll restart it because I don't like to waste people's time. But today, I guess I'm not doing that. High to low here, expectation after we find. And look at this too, 104.6K. Back testing the 886 for support before slingshotting up. That's actually pretty common to do. Let's see if we did that before, because I think we did. Hold on. If we look here from a high to a low. Just notice where Bitcoin touched. It was the 1886 to 200 level. Let's see. Daily time frame. So here we broke above the 886. We actually found support at the 786. And then we ripped. And then we ripped higher, right? Imagine everybody here. We're not at new all-time highs, but we're breaking out. We're clearly breaking out of the downtrend, having the time of our lives. And then we rip down. You go from 74K, $4,000 all the way down to 67,000. Oh, no. Bitcoin's going to go lower, double top, whatever everybody's saying, and then we rip after bouncing off the 786. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we were to bounce off the 886 here, but if we were to go to the 786, I guess that's exactly what we saw last time too. And that 786 is all the way down at basically $101,000, which is right where the 236 is as well. It's okay. It is completely fine, by the way, if the price goes a little bit below the 236. Maybe not that much though. So I would not expect that you go below $101,000. Actually, I would not expect that you do that. But 104.6, that's right around that 105K area, 104.8K area right here at the tops. I could see you finding support there and then moving up, yeah. So whenever it is time to move up, whenever you are moving higher, the next target is 120K. The maximum target that we're expecting would be something around $180,000 to $190,000. I'm thinking we'll interact with this 2272 area and get above here probably by the end of June, if not sometime in July. Last time, and if we look at this throughout Bitcoin's cycle history so far, we go through here, just get a good idea. For anybody who's still watching the video, this is I think some interesting stuff right here actually. And I know that I've kind of been all over the place, but this one will this might make up for it, at least as far as confidence goes and where we're going to go to the upside. Okay, I think this is a good way to look at things. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But so far in this cycle, it's worked out. I don't know where to draw it from here. I mean, we could take a high to low. High to low here. You went just above your 1414. Okay, so keep that in mind. You went just above your 1414. That was the first move of the cycle. Okay. Coming from the bear market lows, though. So it's going to be a little bit of a weaker move. And you can see it here. This movement up was a lot weaker than this movement up was a lot weaker than it's the weakest move of the cycle so far. So don't rely on that too heavily. But nonetheless, the 1414 was the target that we went to. High to low here. All the way up to the 2618. And even beyond that, we went all the way up to the 4618 area above the 3618. But from that high to low, your next immediate stopping point was just above your 2272, if not up to your 2618 right there, okay? You take the next high to low right here, and where was your stopping point? All the way up at the 2618 above the 2272 yet again, okay? We do this again, and surprise, surprise, high to low, we're all the way up at the 1886200. So just that first time, just this weakest rally, were we at the 1414, but that was taken from a high to a low in the bear market. It's not, I don't know, and should I have taken that high to low? Should I have taken this high to low? If I took that high to low, we're up at the 1886. I don't know, but I think I'm right taking this high to low personally. But high to low here, 1886. What we've seen normally throughout this bull market is something that is at least above the 2272, at least, right? Other than the very first rally of the market, which is typically the weaker rally. It's kind of a one-off of a rally, right? We're just figuring ourselves out, breaking out of the bear market. Are we in a bear market or a bull market still? We're just figuring ourselves out back there, right? High to low here. My expectation would be that we don't stop at the 1414. Although if you want to include that as a possible target, you can. I would say that not even the 1618 is certifiable as a minimum target. I think the 1886 to the 200 level here, that is our minimum standard. So $154,000 to $161,000. That's our minimum standard expectation. Then our maximum expectations all the way up at the 2618, which is $205,000, something like that. 203, I think. Yeah, 200, almost 204K. So all I'm trying to say by this is just going by what we've seen throughout this cycle as far as extensions go, whether it's from a very significant consolidation phase or a minor consolidation phase, whatever. This would be the area to expect. And if we tie that in with this idea here, right, from the low of this move to the high of this move here, we can even take that high, sure, 54%. I think the move, I mean, it really ended here, 48%. Low here to the high here, that's a 58% move. This is not a move up, it's just part of the consolidation, so we won't take that into account. Low here to the high, that was an 80% move up. Low here to the high, do you notice a trend that the moves are getting bigger? 48, 58, 80, 91. They're getting bigger. I wouldn't say the move started down here, though. If I took the low and I put it to the high, that would be the largest move, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm actually trying to take it from where the move began, and the move, in my opinion, it didn't begin here. That was the brunt of the move, but it probably began more so like right here. 106. You see how these moves are getting bigger? And I don't think I'm cherry picking. I think it's pretty fair to measure these moves. I'm not taking the absolute low. If I am, I'm taking it from a point that seems to be the beginning of the move, if that makes any sense. So here, being that each move's getting bigger, 48, 58, 80, 91, 106, let's assume that we don't get bigger this time. That's probably not going to happen. Every cycle, the moves get bigger, especially post-halving, finale phase of the bull market, it gets bigger. It only gets bigger. But there's no doubt the move started here. Let's say we see something around 100% instead of 106%. Well, 100% would put us below this level. So that actually doesn't make a lot of sense. It's close, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. 106% doesn't even actually get us to that yellow line, the minimum standard here. So what would make the most sense is that we see something that's bigger than 106%, right? Something that's bigger than 106%, which puts us right in this area here. Is it going to be 10% bigger? Is it going to be 20% bigger? I don't know. But something I would expect at a bare minimum, my personal minimum expectation would be about 160K. And I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if we saw something that was fantastically larger than any move that we've seen so far. And we went all the way up to 200K or 180K is what I'm thinking. Last but not least, the reason why I think we're going to go to about $180,000 is if we take a high to a low here, from our bull market high to our bear market low, we do that. You can see that $174,000, the golden ratio, that is right there, smack dab in the middle of this zone here. It makes sense with the percentage growth idea, right? 134%, I could see that happening. And then also, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but with Bitcoin, it tends to wick above its 1618. What's just above there? What's a wick just above there? About $180,000, $190,000. So we're going to go there, you guys. It's going to happen. It's just we're going to move down first. And I got nothing else to say. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves and be patient. Don't leverage. If you're going to leverage trade, man, you shouldn't even leverage trade, but do it with low leverage, right? If you're having a hard time leveraging and you're like, I feel like I'm doing everything right. Why am I sucking? And then the price goes where I wanted it to go anyways, but it cleared me out first. You're too high leverage, right? Just be lower leverage, and then it'll go where you thought it was going to go. Even if you're wrong in the short-term stuff, if you're right in the long term, if you're using low leverage, it shouldn't matter as long as we're not moving sideways forever. But low leverage, high leverage, doesn't matter if you're in these like know nothing nonsense kind of zones just moving sideways. But anyways, I digress. Low leverage, 3x, 5x is fine, 2x is fine, 1.5x leverage is fine, 1.25x leverage is fine. No leverage is the best. Spot trading is where it's at, especially in crypto. You can always just go down the ladder if you want to up your risk to reward metric, but I'm just rambling at this point. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.